Joanna champion, I must tell you, I have gone out of my way to find something that I can discuss with Joanna. I'm very appreciative, and I already miss her. She looked so good in her last fight. I mean, in every way. Like, she came out in a red outfit. I don't remember her fighting in red before. She's down to 115. She's lean. She's trained up. She's not, knows what she's got in front of her. Like, she looked. And we always judge by the looks. Like, we don't, people don't like to talk about this when you have male and female, but it's very important. It's why we do the face-off. We will judge somebody's level of fitness. We will judge the look in their eye. We will really judge if she looked like $1 million. And quite frankly, she fought like it as well. She got hit with a shot that could have put down a steer. But I digress, because she was doing an interview. And she had done this before the fight. I didn't bring it to you guys. I let it slide. But it bothered me. It bothered me. I picked it up in my mind, and I felt a little something in my heart for her. She talked about, I want to go out on my terms. I've always wanted to go out on my terms. I expect victory, comma, but anything can happen. That's what she said. I understand that. You guys understand that. So what, right? Well, hold the thought. Hold the thought. There was a baseball player. And you guys will know exactly who I'm talking about if you even follow baseball loosely. I can't produce his name. It's like Lenny or it's Denny, Steiskra, something along these lines. Maybe nothing along those lines, but he's a very good baseball player. He'd won like 2 or 3 championships. He was very, very good. And he's known for being in the World Series. The game-winning play, the ball comes to him. He goes down to pick up a grounder. It rolls right between his legs. They get a guy around to the home plate. Time runs out. They got more points. This is what he's known for in baseball, but he'd won like 2 or 3 championships. He was great. 1 week before that game, they asked about the World Series. He's on tape saying this. And he said, I would just hate to be the guy that had a ball go between his legs and cost us the game. It was a very random comment. But he made it. And 1 week later, he became that guy. There was an athlete. 42 years old. He makes a comment somewhere about retirement. Makes a comment. He says, I'd hate to be 42 years old and have a heart attack. Turns 42, he has a heart attack, passes away. Bless his soul. But these things are very real. And I grew up in the era of Mike Tyson. And I grew up in the era of nobody thinking about how to beat him. All they would think about is that uppercut and hook. That was it. They would go through training camps focused on that. They'd be working on defense. They were working on how they can step, how they can block, how they can move. They would all get uppercut. They would all get hooked. And there's books that are written on this, right? Like every 10 years, some jerk comes out and writes a book to put on Amazon. The last time they did it roughly 10 years ago, it was called it's about the laws of attraction. It was called The Secret 10 years ago. It'll come back around, but it all has to do with laws of attraction. But by goodness, there's some truth to it. Where exactly it sits, can you sit around and dream of a Ferrari and all of a sudden you get one? No, I don't think so. I've certainly tried. It didn't work for me. But there is something to that positive thought, and there is definitely something about subliminally letting something negative in. I will see politicians do this all the time. A politician who comes out and speaks about their opponent, even if it's negative, if it is letting you know what a dirty rat this is. If they speak about their opponent and they put their opponent's name out there more times than not, you can go down ballot and you can go every 4 years, that person will lose. The person that uses his airtime to speak about himself and put his name out there, regardless of what a dirty rat he is, will win. Laws of attraction happens all the time. I only bring this to you because Max Holloway did an embedded. Embedded is the single greatest piece the UFC has ever produced, by the way. It's better than a pay-per-view, which of course I don't mean, but excellent. If you don't watch Embedded, get over to Fight Pass and check out Embedded. Max Holloway said, I'm the champ. He not only said, I'm the champion, he said, I've always been the champion. He not only said, I'm the champion, I've always been the champion. He said, nobody will ever convince me I'm not the champion. I just want you to hear this before the fight. I wanted to bring you Joanna's statement before the fight. I didn't want to jinx her. I want to bring you Max's statement, though. It's very different. It's nothing about a grounder going between his legs. It's nothing about reaching in and having a heart attack. It's nothing about stopping an uppercut and a hook. It is 100% positive, focused on him. Now, these are statements that I'm grabbing out of thin air. I'm sure Joanna said 100 other things. I'm sure Max has said 100 other things. But I do want to juxtapose the two. I want to do this officially. I want us to all pay attention. I want us to all see how that goes. But a positive attitude, I mean, these are words. These are things that you say. I will tell you as an athlete, it is very, very difficult to do. A number of things that you could talk about to athletes and that you will even know as an athlete that are the right things to do is very hard to do. I will see wrestlers, the environment I grew up in. I will see the best guy drop out of the tournament all the time. And the physically best wrestler shows up at 9 a.m. on the morning of the tournament. He's going to have 5 matches before he gets to go home that night. He will try to win the tournament. Can't ever try to win the tournament. You got to do one match at a time. Some guys can get there, a lot of them. But then you get the really good guy. And that guy doesn't even try to win a match at a time. He goes down to rounds. I've never seen anybody be able to do less than rounds, but there are people that speak about able to break that down into 30-second increments. I know coaches that will preach to fighters to break it down into 10-second increments. Don't ever try to fight 5 rounds against a guy. Don't ever try to fight 1 round. Don't even try to fight 1 minute. It's 10 seconds. Do 6 10-minute increments. Get to a minute. Do that 5 more times. Get to a round. If you could actually master that, if the only thing you're thinking about is right now, if you can live that much in the present, simple as that might sound, I will tell you, there are very few athletes that could do it. Michael Jordan couldn't do it. Kobe can't do it. LeBron can't do it. Mayweather can't do it. Simone can't do it. If you can, the closer you can get, there are ways and there are tricks and subliminal and positive thoughts that you put out into the universe is part of it. I don't want to be one of those weirdos that tries to sell you a book and talks about all of these things and you go dream about the Ferrari, but I will tell you, somebody that truly believes that and can stay in the moment is a very dangerous person. All athletes will do what's called taking inventory. They'll get 1 minute into a fight and they'll start to assess how tired they are. They'll start to assess anything that hurts. They will then mentally, if it's a 15-minute fight, times that by 15 and make a decision right in that moment. Can I hang on? Or do I need to start to find a way out? Most guys will go, I need to find a way out, and then they will fight like hell to beat that voice down. They will fight like hell to get through another minute and not listen to that voice that wants to give up. Fight or flight. Natural piece of all human psychology. And I just want to bring this up. I want to juxtapose the very light comment that Joanna made with what Max is saying, that he is the champion, he is the best, and nobody is going to tell him different.